Deforestation is the intentional or deliberate removal of forest land. Its purpose is to increase development in sectors such as agriculture, manufacturing, and infrastructure. Aside from acquiring wood for fuel, processing, and construction, the environment has suffered the consequences of this. In line with the progress of development, the increase in deforestation in Malaysia is getting worse. Primary forest loss in Malaysia. Malaysia had lost 2,17 ha of humid primary forest, that making up to 34% of its total tree cover loss in the same period starting from 2002 to 2020. Meanwhile, total area of humid primary forest in Malaysia decreased by 17%. In 2020, primary forest extent remaining 83%, while primary forest loss for 73.0 ka. Tree cover loss in Malaysia. From 2001 to 2020, Malaysia lost 8.39 ha of tree cover, equivalent to a 29% decrease in tree cover since 2000. In 2020, tree cover loss required 0.91%. There have 5 areas located of tree cover loss in Malaysia include Sarawak, 3.04 ha, Sabah, 1.67 ha, Pahang, 1.15 ha, Johor, 724 ka, and Perak, 433 ka. Annual tree cover loss by dominant driver in Malaysia. From 2001 to 2019, 95% of tree cover loss occurred in areas where the dominant drivers of loss resulted in deforestation. On August 2021, mudflows happened at Mount Jerry Forest Reserve due to activities of quarry and deforestation. Property damage happened due to mudflows and unfortunately death occurred. The production of logs in Sarawak started gradually decreasing due to higher logging rate. On 2021, floods also happened in Sarawak due to affected towards nature from forest loss. During MCO, there is a brisk deforestation occurred, and this happens to all state in Malaysia. In fact, Zattelligence has also found a reduction in the expected CO2 emissions for 2020 as a result of the decrease in primary forest loss in Malaysia. Approximately 6 million tons of CO2 was not emitted over 2020 due to the decrease when comparing the predicted emissions to the ones estimated based on actual forest loss. The environmental effects of deforestation. Reduce biodiversity. Deforestation poses a serious threat to Malaysia's biodiversity. When forest cover is removed, wildlife is deprived of habitat and becomes more vulnerable to hunting. Malaysia is home to some 15,500 species of higher plants, 746 birds, 300 mammals, 379 reptiles, 198 amphibians, and 368 species of fish. Release of greenhouse gas emissions. Forests are the largest terrestrial store of carbon. Deforestation is the largest source of carbon dioxide emissions after fossil fuel burning, causing 15% of global greenhouse gas emissions. Disrupted water cycles. As a result of deforestation, trees no longer evaporate groundwater. Precipitation rates are reduced, which can cause the local climate to be much drier. Increased soil erosion. Deforestation increases rates of soil erosion by increasing runoff and reducing the protection of the soil from tree litter. This situation can be changed. Plant a tree. The cutting down of trees can cause production of carbon dioxide, a greenhouse gas, to be released into the air. By planting trees, its able helps to combat global warming because trees can absorb carbon dioxide. In addition, planting and caring for trees is essential for the overall health and quality of life of the community. Reduced meat consumption. In now current situation, animal agriculture industry requires much larger areas of land compared to plant-based farming. For example, nearly 1/3 of the ice-free surface of the planet is converted into pasture for our domestic animals, and 30% of available arable land is used to grow livestock feed. Practices ecoforestry. Ecoforestry is one of the restorative methods of forest management, which is not based on economic productivity. In this practice, certain trees are selectively harvested while causing minimal damage to the rest of the forest. Meanwhile, the long-term aim of this method is to systematically for mature trees, while leaving the forest ecosystem relatively unaffected. Raise awareness among public. Major environmental problems such as deforestation often continue to occur because of a lack of awareness and knowledge about the problem. Better awareness and education are important thing even in the case among farmers. Education of local farmers about optimizing their land management will ensure that less forested areas doesn't need to be cleared for farming. More overcome to this deforestation are: consume everything less. Overconsuming costs too much of demanding and having an unsustainable ecological footprint to planet. UN Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, estimates that roughly one-third food produced for human consumption every year is wasted or lost. So by consuming less, it will contribute to lower demand. The production of goods will slow down and less forest land will need to be taken down. Shop sustainably certified products. Shop more consciously by knowing the sources of product. Get the products that are locally produced and have a fair trade label such as paper with FSC certification, Boots Coffee, Fair Trade certified chocolate or RSPO palm oil, which means the products aren't produced by harming the forests. Deforestation in Malaysia can be reduced by the measure. This deforestation has a lot of impact on the environment. Trees in the forest also produce oxygen to living things.